À point is probably, as a chef, one of the most beautiful sayings of the French language. What does it mean? It means that a steak or a lamb is cooked medium rare. And when I was 20, working at Les Doyennes in Paris, that wonderful restaurant by the Champs-Élysées, the chef, Mr. Trosselier, used to say during service to the microphone, "Deux filets de bœuf à point! Deux filets de bœuf à point!" Many times until the sous chef would say, "Oui, chef!" And service started, hundreds of people. But that saying, à point, is something that we can take into life. Because what does à point mean besides that? It means in time, ready. Ready for what? If we are on the search of the pursuit of a point in life, we can think of many things. Let's talk business. I have been feeling this last 10 years that the corporate world has to be more romantic. In fact, I was sitting in a lunch the other day with a banker, and it was a big table. I didn't know him. And I said to him, "Sir, what do you do?" And he said, "I'm a banker." And I said to him, "Are you a romantic banker?" And he looked at me, and he turned his chair. And he didn't speak to me at lunch again. And what do I mean by that? What is life? What is business? What is love? What is working? What is raising children if we don't have romance in it? I think that clients have been forgotten into the doings of computers and gray men taking decisions in offices. And I'm an ambitious man. It's not that I don't like money. I do like it. I do like it. But we, as clients of the world, deserve something better. In cooking, there's a timing that takes you to perfection, to ecstasy. And what is that? It's a silent language, unexplainable. I have written many books. Are they good for anything? I don't think so. You can look at the recipes, you can read this and that, you can get inspired. But the true about cooking is this silent language that you learn by having a stance in your kitchen, the way you stand in front of your fire, with your pan, with your casserole, and all your senses over and over again, over the years, repeating operations like cooking a steak, boiling a chicken, making noodles or other things, all your senses start to learn something that is unexplainable, that I can't write about. And that's the secret and the mystery of cooking. And I think we can extend that to many orders and doings in life. Friendship, love, so on and so on. But that's why when I walk into my kitchen, I look into the young chefs. I just sit for a second and look at them and see how they walk, how they reach for the butter, how they reach for the thyme, how they run and prep something. And I realize by the way they walk, if one day they're going to be really good. And when I see that little sparkle in them, that they're doing things with a lot of hope, I take them apart and I start training them more and giving them opportunities to grow. I take them to travel with other chefs and cook in other countries and so on. And that's very important because they show that they're ready in time, à point. for a better learning. So think about the delicious beauty of an entrecôte de bœuf, grilling, sizzling quietly, far away from the coals, cooking to that delicious, tender temperature, which is a point. I've done that all my life, and I really, really like it. Now, if you close your eyes with me and you dream about different situations of life where we could and can be a point. Think, for example, in this beautiful girl. She lives in a town. She's a lover in the city. She is in love. She's sitting in the train station, waiting to climb into the train and run into the bed of him. And suddenly the train arrives and she looks at it and she has tears in her eyes and she stays. And the train slowly goes away and she walks through the paths to her home under the trees, and she realizes that that love was starting to be empty. She was a point, ready in time for a change. And change is the engine of the world. If we don't change, we become fossils. We are like a stone. So we must keep our thoughts, our body in tiptoes, always looking for something new. Think about a chef, or about a mathematician, or a doctor, who are all well studied. They know their trade. They know how to work. They know how to go forward. But there is one point in life where you are à point with your career, which means that in order to grow, to excel, to be something different, you have to break the roof, climb up, and look into the world with very different eyes. The eyes of what? Well, of generalism. The eyes of philosophy, of architecture, of fashion, of opera, of classic music, of popular music, of literature, of history. So you climb, you look out on search of everything you want to learn, and then all that will come back into your world of working. If you're a chef, it will help you improve. If you're a mathematician, you will meet people on the way and you will get ideas. If you're a doctor, the same. So think about that. We grow and we grow, but suddenly we are in this comfortable chair. But we can be à point for a change, à point to go for something more, to forget that beautiful check we get every month, to say, well, that was enough. Maybe I have to start again. Maybe I have to go through that path that goes the other way, like Robert Frost said in his beautiful poem. I'm in love with life and with love. So I dream about this couple under the tree, half dressed, half naked, making love for hours. They've been together for a while. They know each other. And what are they doing? They're enjoying, waiting, having patience to reach ecstasy both at the same time. The glory of love. And that's very beautiful in this not so generous world we live in, where everybody's in a rush. Everything has to be done fast. It's not about the power. It's about the thought. It's about the sensibility of two persons that know how to wait And I do believe that patience and waiting are some of the most beautiful things in life. They teach you so much. They take you to a place where people maybe have never been, just by waiting, by being patient. And I think it's a very important ingredient in love. Tonight, I should be in Paris, a city that I love very, very much. The only place in the world where I like to have holidays. I lived there for a long time, and I always say that she's a lover. Well, she's not really a lover. I've been waiting for her for 50 years, and she always say, oh, maybe tomorrow. But she, for me, is a city à point, because when you walk in the streets of Paris, you see harmony, and you see as well adversity. You see places that are full of anger in a way. And I feel that the balance of beauty and things that are not so beautiful are very, very important. That's why I love Paris so much, because she's full of angels and phantoms all together. And one day you dance with one and the other day with others. And that's very, very beautiful. And it reminds me of sitting in a comfortable chair when suddenly you realize that you've been in the sofa for 3 days, and you look through the window and you see beautiful trees, and you feel the cushions under you, and you say, can't get better. But you should not stay. You have to go, get up, walk out, and start doing things that certainly will be full of adversity. And that's life. The doing, the suffering, the loving, and the enjoying as well. So luckily, in life, there will be many moments of feeling à point, in time, ready. And there will be many others that will be full of adversity, because happiness and sadness, they are great friends, and they sleep with us every night on a silk bed, and they embrace us. And one morning we will wake up with adversity, and the next maybe with happiness. But at the end, learning to embrace adversity is very important, because we can't get rid of it. Adversity happens and will always happen, and we have to learn from it. And remember, somebody said, I don't know who it was, that we really learn in failure. We don't learn anything by success, not much. And that's very beautiful, because when we fall and we are on the floor, full of blood, suffering, and we have to get up, and we do get up, and slowly we start again, and we are à point again. So as to round up my talk about à point, I want to talk about intuition, that beautiful beast that inhabits us since we are very young. That thing that comes from the inside and says to you, yes, do that, don't do it. Many people are afraid of that voice, of the intuition, but we must listen. And if we do listen, we will learn more and more about the truth that intuition gives us. I remember I left home when I was very young. I was 13, and I had a strong intuition, and I heard it. So the first thing I did when I walked into a room full of people was to stand in the door and look at everybody just for seconds and decide where I was and if I should stay or not. Why? Because I was 13. It was the 1960s. It was full of drugs. And I didn't like drugs. I didn't want them. And that helped me so, so much. And I would close the door gently, say goodnight, and move out. So I think that to keep up with the dreams of children, we have to teach them that intuition, that little voice that we all have inside and that children hear as well, must be listened. And it's one of the most beautiful tools we have to face love and life and hope. Intuition is very, very important. Finally, silence. I love silence. I love being on my own. I enjoy so much the idea of sitting in front of a forest or a lake or a mountain and hearing what they have to say and being in silence. Because when we are happy with ourselves, we can share things, beautiful things with others. So think about all this. Think about this beautiful saying that the French taught us, à point, medium rare. Is your life medium rare? Is it well done? I mean, well done, dry, with no blood, tough? Or is it as it should be, à point? Thank you.